Welcome to the Rated R episode. Today I'm very elated, I'm blessed. I've been honored by the great ones to have this sacred opportunity to speak to the nations on the office of the firstborn daughter. I've been speaking to the nation, I've been traveling, teaching about firstborn daughters, but today we've got a sacred grace, a visitation from the mind of the Almighty. I'm blessed today to literally give you, in flesh and blood, a true ambassador of what a firstborn daughter represents. I'm going to give it to you through emblems of humanity. And today, on our very first shoot on this episode of Firstborn Daughter series, I have an institution of femininity. I have an ambassador of the bloodline of great ones, none other than the great and the only Dawn King. A great gift, the face of firstborn, the face of Umkabayi.
Nginitshelile ukuthi sizohlangana. Imina lo umkabayi kaJama. Umbeki wenkosi akabusi nayo.
The voice of silent women that died without speaking. She is healing and medicine to the cries of the motherline. I give you today, in flesh and blood, a sacred gift, Umam Dawn, Makhosi.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever been introduced in such a great way in my life before. So this is indeed the first of its kind. Thank you so much.
Makhosi ngiyabonga. I'm blessed that I have you. And we've been talking a lot. uNkulunkulu unike sacred grace. Sinyathele ngabadala. I talk about firstborn daughters, and it's an office that many people don't understand. There's a pandemic globally of literally embracing this sacred office of firstborn daughters. You are a firstborn daughter, Makhosi. You have experienced it from all versions, and yet you are gifted. I say a firstborn daughter is an ancestral ambassador. A firstborn daughter feels like a man. Firstborn daughters literally cannot be carried. I say, "Ishu mila madoda mata awutheni." A man who fails to acknowledge a firstborn daughter has missed an opportunity to experience 10 sons. Exhibit it as one. Makhosi, what does that mean when I say a firstborn daughter is literally an office?
Yeah. Lana ekhaya kushuthi ngizovuswa abantu engibazamayo ukuba maintain bangavuki. Because they are now very excited that we are speaking on this topic.
Yes.
For me, what it means is firstly, my name Thandeka Mhlonishwa is very important. And so that is why it is included in the Dawn Thandeka King of who I am. Thandeka was the name given to me by my grandmother. I am the first granddaughter. I am the first grandchild of two great families. I might not be the first grandchild from my father's side, but I'm the first grandchild on my mother's side of the family. So Gogo Ami named me Thandeka. So she used to call me Itati Tatiga Gogo, which then somehow also became part of my ancestral names. You know, when we go through uhambo lwethu lwabantu abadala lo bizo lwethu, then we acquire names. And one of those names, it was very strange that igama ugogo ade ngibiza ngalo ephila enyameni, she then not that she calls me by it, but those that came forward and then started working through me spiritually called me Itati Tati Gakoko still, which meant ukuthi you are right when you say she is an ambassador of the ancestors. So from where they were, they knew why they had sent me through, because clearly I was sent through even before my grandmother had passed, because my grandmother passed when I was about 11, turning 12. But I was a favorite of my grandparents because I was that little thing that walked around after a long time of there being a young one. And so I just became my grandparents' favorite little thing that was running around every time I was in my grandfather's car.
Yes.
I was that one. Not that there weren't any. Then my sister, my cousins came, and then my sister came after me, but I was the first. I was my mother's first daughter. And that in itself, I guess we are going to unpack it.
Yes.
But I didn't realize then when I was young what it meant for me to be who I was until I had the calling.
Yes.
And through the calling, then I understood my assignment. Through me, my great-grandfather came to heal the wounds of the family.
Yes.
To rectify what he actually explained, that he had come to rectify what they hadn't been able to do.
Yes.
During their time.
Yes.
So through me, a firstborn granddaughter, he came through me to rectify what he hadn't, and he did.
So, Makosi, firstborn daughters are the redemption of the bloodline. The mistakes of the past can be fixed through a firstborn daughter.
Yeah. And also a first
granddaughter.
I think with me, yes, firstborn daughter, but first granddaughter played a bigger role.
I hear you.
Than daughter.
Yes.
Not that the daughter part doesn't play, it does, but granddaughter, because in my family, I'm born, my mother's side of the family, Wamtembu. So moya Wamtembu, and ageko ngamazi uThandeka. The older ones call her daddy. Ekhaya mangisekhaya egcekeni ngiyidandi kuthiwa wey dandi. That's how I'm referred to even up until today. I was home 2 weeks ago. I'm still that child. I'm still called Dandi. It doesn't matter how famous people think I am and how great. Ngise Dandi kagogo.
Come on.
And that is very important.
Your goodness. So firstborn daughters are ancestral assignments. I'm hearing you. The first point that we will say is that a firstborn daughter is an ancestral assignment.
Yes.
But a first granddaughter is literally the assignment of what the Omkhulu missed.
Yeah.
You are the redemption of the missed step of Omkhulu.
Yeah.
And you give voice as an invoice to the way they failed.
Yeah.
And has that been an easy experience for you? I keep telling them about firstborn daughters. Now I'm bringing them firstborn daughters in flesh and blood. I brought a grand firstborn daughter.
Yeah. Because I think also because I was raised by my grandparents, the firstborn granddaughter plays a bigger role than firstborn daughter. Like I said, the first daughter also plays a role in my life, but granddaughter plays an even bigger role, because the one that sits inside of me, the one whose vessel I am, is my great-grandfather.
Yes.
So
the Abraham of your bloodline.
Yes. So I then became the vessel where he could come back and rectify what he hadn't done.
That's how you.
And that hadn't happened in my family before.
So a cycle breaker.
Yes. So there hadn't been anyone in my family who had accepted the calling. Not that there hadn't been a calling to
it's always
to be
been
accepted.
Vacant.
Yes. But it was accepted in for instance, I was raised in a Christian home. So my grandfather accepted his calling as a priest.
I hear you.
But not as a traditional healer or spiritual healer.
Yes.
So here I am. Then I wasn't given a choice. I accepted the spiritual healer calling, of which the first healing that had to happen was the healing of my own family.
Come on.
My mother's side of the family. Because he specifically, these things, when we speak about them, we speak about them in caution, because then when I say I'm a vessel through which a spirit comes through and speaks.
Go ahead, ma'am.
people kind of freak out and they're like, but this is exactly what happened to me.
I love the
And it's not like I
authenticity, yeah.
went out looking for this. And it's not like I was born in a family that was knowledgeable of this.
Yes.
I come from a Lutheran background.
Yes.
My grandfather was umongameli wesonto lamaluthela. I am born from ikhaya la engizalwa khona kwaShembe. My great grandfather uIsaiah Shembe. So kusho ukuthi lapha engizalwa khona ila ekwazalwa khona isonto lamaNazaretha, isonto lakwaShembe. So I didn't go out looking to become a spiritual healer. It found me. Which means there was a gap. There was something kule healing abanayo, kule calling abanayo that hadn't been attended to.
I hear you.
And so the gap was siyangena la. We are not saying siyacela, siyangena la, siyalungisa la. So when you will see in the future why we asked you to do it.
I hear you. And
so then my responsibility then becomes, I am a vessel. I'm not doing anything. I'm simply the vessel, the physical that can assist the ancestors to rectify.
Yes.
And I believe that they did in my family. And I believe that they did. My family is more knowledgeable about what the ancestors require and what we need to do for our ancestors. And the fact that our ancestors still live through us.
Yes.
They don't die. They are here.
Yes.
The mere fact that we've got their DNA, their genes, it means they are here.
So they may be dead, they are alive
through us. Yes, they are alive through us. So we can't necessarily say, kufanele sikhonze abantu abangasekho. Abasekho kanjani when we are alive? It is only when we've wiped away the entire living
that they cease to exist. I hear you. And then, these eyes are not ours.
Yeah, and then we can say, because you don't know who's within you. They say as a woman is pregnant, there are 3 generations in one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So because each woman has their own eggs. So how then do we say that they are not here? I am here because they were. They will be there because I was.
I hear you. Woo.
You know what I mean? And so we begin to understand it differently when we unpack.
Yes.
And also when it happens inside the family, and it's not like it's happening outside. So when it's happening outside of the family, it's easy for the family to say, I askholelwa kulezi zinto. But when it's inside the family, then you begin to deal ne-tati ziyagula. You can literally see your niece, your daughter, and you can literally see
spiritual
the effects. Because it's not nice. And no one can say, I assist again because nangu muntu uyafa. You look sick. I felt sick. I could tell. Physically, I had no control.
Come on.
So it's easy for someone who has never gone through that to say, why sitwaselani Google yin twasanga? It's because munyu muntu suke ngenayo choice. Because that's the only healing that they can get. There is no doctor that can heal you spiritually.
It's a spiritual sickness.
Yes.
Medicine cannot help with
Yes, and so it requires spiritual healers to intervene. The family knows nothing. Yes, we can pray, but you can't pray it away. I think it had been tired of being prayed away. Because I think in my family it had been prayed away. Yes, it had been prayed away. It was tired of being prayed away. This thing that needed to be fixed.
A bloodline signature.
Yes.
A bloodline
and
calling.
So it found
you.
Its vessel, and and then I had no choice. And
so
I
you are a vessel of the bloodline.
Yes.
To heal the bloodline, to heal your family. So can we say that firstborn daughters are family healers? You can't run away from that. As a firstborn daughter, you are a family healer. Celebrated or not, it's a position you are given that you didn't look for. It found you.
No. You don't go around looking for something like this. I could have never gone and asked for a voice of a man to come out, like for a man to invade my body and start just controlling the I couldn't have done that on my own. How do you do that?
So, Makosi, a firstborn, I always say firstborn tastes like man. Number 3, firstborns taste like men. Talk to us, Makosi. With a voice of a man, invoicing women. You're saying a voice of a man. You know, I keep hearing firstborns saying, all men are all men accuse them, saying that I'm not married to a man. I feel like I'm married to a man. I'm dating a man. But they don't understand that a firstborn is a man in a woman's body.
Yes.
Literally, a firstborn by texture, by taste.
Yeah. And with me, I think what they had always said when I was growing up, they said, "Ngangumfana ojike endleleni."
Come on.
So I was meant to be a boy, but
What
ngajika
you
endleleni.
and came as a woman.
But it essentially it means exactly what you're saying, that we carry so much.
Yes.
And when we're coming, they latch on. Whoever didn't get a chance to do anything latches on. When you're coming not on your own. You're arriving with a whole lot of people holding on to
you. My God.
Hoping that you will rectify what they didn't rectify. So I come from a line of both sides, my mother and my father's side, of preachers. So I come from families where the men stand and command attention of crowds.
Come on.
And they hold the attention of crowds. And they heal through preaching. From both sides of the family. And so with me having the gift that I have, the gift of performing and the gift of acting, it is a gift and it is a responsibility. You and I were talking about this. It is a responsibility. This is not a gift for me to enjoy being famous or being a celebrity. This is a gift where I get to preserve history.
Yes.
I get to preserve everything that the ones that are still to come need to know.
I hear you.
And I always say I'm very grateful to have the amount of work that I do have, to have in a short space of time, because I only entered this industry in 2012. Even
2012.
Yeah, even after I graduated in 1999, and it meant I should have come into the industry in 2000. But that didn't happen. I went a different direction, and I'm not going to go through that because people know that I went into the corporate space instead.
Yes.
Instead of coming into this industry. But I always say I was just being prepared. I was being prepared mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically. I was being prepared to come and play a role in this industry that was more important than the role that I thought I was going to play. I just thought I was going to come here, enjoy being an actress, be famous, and that was it. I didn't realize the responsibility that one has as an actor or as a performer.
It's the responsibility.
It's a responsibility. Because what people see, they need to learn something from it. They need to be healed from whatever it is that you stand for in that moment. We freeze time. As you watch us, what you watch is something that we shot 2, 3, 4 months ago. But as we frozen that time, in the moment where we shot that, we froze time for you to watch. Meaning, in 100 years' time, whatever you watched will still be watched.
Irrelevant.
It will still have the same emotions. It will still have the same impact.
Yes.
Because we freeze everything.
Yes. We
freeze time, emotions, information, education. We freeze time. So that responsibility, you need to understand that whatever you agree to be a part of must have an impact, a positive impact in society.
Yeah,
you cannot just give this gift to anything. I understand now there's phones and people can record. Remember, everything you record will stay on the internet and it will impact someone in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
So make sure that whatever you are part of, you freeze time. In whatever you record, you freeze time.
Yes,
it must impact someone positively.
Yeah.
So we literally, right now we're recording history.
Freezing time.
We're freezing time. In 1,000 years' time, someone will watch this
and unlock everything.
And they will be experiencing this time.
Yes. Yes.
These emotions, this information.
Yes.
Now.
Come on.
In 1,000 years'
Come
time.
on.
So the responsibility of anyone that says they want to be a part of this industry must be that you understand the spirituality behind what we have.
Now, you're saying that, Makosi. We always say that firstborn daughters are spiritual gatekeepers of the bloodline. So you are literally giving us the spiritual essence of being that. On that, Makosi, I always say that firstborn daughters are gatekeepers of their father's house and gatekeepers of the men they marry. The greatest mistake you can try and do is to ukulobola a firstborn and make them property of your bloodline. It does not apply to a firstborn daughter because she's 10 sons that are belonging to the other side. And a lot of men are very frustrated in trying to completely colonize a firstborn through marriage and say, "Ungumfazi walapha ekhaya, ungakomafu wena." When in reality, you are never meant to leave your father's crawl. In your own wisdom and in your own gifting, in your office, Marcos, because I don't want to do the talking. You are a fountain we are going to draw from. There are firstborn daughters out there
Yeah.
who are relationships 70 to 90% for firstborns are not good because the dating pool for firstborn daughters is very small.
Yeah.
Very, very small because you've got very few men that can carry you. So, Marcos, what do you say from you're in office? Because I'm coming to Mkabai. You are the face of Mkabai as nation builders.
Yeah.
But here there's a woman asking, I'm a firstborn and I'm tired of relationships because men accuse me of being too loyal to where I'm coming from. And that
Yeah.
is a character trait of a firstborn. You cannot they never leave the crawl. One
Yeah.
foot is in the husband's crawl, one foot is in the father's crawl because you are forever assigned to make sure your father's house does not fall.
Yeah. And then you have another one. You have firstborn daughters that were not married.
Oh, talk to us, please.
So in my case, I am of a firstborn daughter. She's not necessarily she was I think my mother was number 4. So she has brothers and then she's the firstborn daughter.
Okay, firstborn daughter.
Daughter.
I hear
But
you.
she had brothers already.
I hear you.
So my mother had me, but she didn't marry my father.
Yes.
She then went on to marry my stepfather, the man that raised me.
Is it King?
Yes. So I am from Shembe. That is my biological family and biological father. But
hear you.
my mother and my father did not marry. My mother married my father, Professor Caesar Maxwell Ndlovu King,
Come on.
who then raised me
Mm.
as his daughter, his firstborn daughter.
He raised you as his firstborn daughter.
Yes.
Okay.
But also I know that my father had Usis Kosi, who is our sister.
Yes. I hear you.
So then I become the firstborn daughter in my stepfather's
Crawl.
crawl.
I hear you.
And then the first granddaughter. So it then says you balance like this, but then someone attempts to marry you and get you out of these two crawls.
Which are permanently ordained
and
for.
then it just can't live properly.
Hear that, guys? That's very deep what you're saying.
So
because that is the tragedy of many firstborn daughters. You are not designed to live. The attempt to marry and pull you out is
then it's not complete. They try. Look, the first steps of, for me, it went up to the church, to the white wedding, but it just didn't make it to where I just didn't get there.
Yeah, they are not meant to come out.
And so it means then I am, because also traditionally I still belong to my grandfather's crawl. Then it means my mother is my sister in the traditional sense. So Nwakubo kamawam. And then the children that I have, because angiphumanga, ezakubo kwamawam. So it says my mother didn't live in the traditional sense. I didn't live in the traditional sense. My sister has a firstborn daughter. I'm not sure. I'm praying that Umendi marries. My daughter might have a firstborn daughter.
Your twin.
Yes. So what we are praying for is for us to now cut this.
Release them.
Say release them. They must go and get married. I'm still hoping for marriage, by the way.
It's coming, Makos. I will officiate that one. I am officiating that one. I've put I will officiate that
Thank
one.
you, I receive.
Yes, yes.
I'm still hoping it happens because I love marriage. I think marriage
Yes.
is a beautiful thing, but
Yes.
there are traditional things that hold us back. Some of them hold us back without us even knowing. So I'm saying that.
Can you tell us, Makos, the things when you say they are traditional things that just hit Kawan, 2 or 3 of those things that hold us back traditionally?
Yeah, from the mere fact that if my grandmother had not completed her marriage properly in the traditional sense,
It's lost as a pattern.
and then it took us understanding that later, when she was already gone, to have to rectify that because of the rectifier that came through and said, I'm here to rectify. Then we had to start rectifying from the beginning.
Come on.
From where we all come from.
Yeah, bon.
Then we rectified that. So what we were doing there is rectifying for those that still have a chance.
Yeah, bon.
So I think after that, in my family, we then saw a proper wedding come out of our family.
Come on.
My cousin, who is the firstborn daughter of my aunt.
Firstborn
Daughter of my aunt, my mother's sister. She's also my sister.
Yeah.
So she was the first one to have a proper wedding come out of my grandfather's crown.
Come on, yes. Yeah, come on.
The first one that came out of my grandfather's crown.
Which is possible.
I'm talking about my grandfather's crown, not my uncle's homes, my grandfather's crown.
I hear you.
So to me, it meant we have cut whatever that was that interferes with...
You're establishing new patterns.
Yes.
So, Makosi, as a firstborn, this is a very important one now. Firstborn women, firstborn daughters are very spiritual. One of the things that I've learned in communicating, and you're one of my best, by the way, in the people I communicate with. I don't know whether I call you my client or call you my because I become small in your presence again because I understand your office. But one thing that I understand about firstborns, firstborn, it looks like a shrine. There's a Bible, there's a cross, kulo mpepo, kulo Buddha, kulan. Firstborns have tended to. It's like a shrine.
If you could see my bedroom, then
the bedroom of a firstborn daughter always looks like a shrine because of firstborns are spiritual and they're not limited. When you see firstborns, 1 minute they are a Christian, 1 minute by a Twasa, 1 minute by a Buddha, Base Bali, by a Bona. I mean, there is a proclivity of spiritualness in a firstborn that is uncommon. And I want to narrow this one in when you, as a firstborn, you told me something, you were carrying something in Umkabai on Ushaga Ulembe.
Ngakhethwa ngingakazama ungivumelana nawe mina Mkabayi ukuthi I will be a vessel that will retell the history of Umkabayi. Insimbi ibunjwa ngokugazingwa ngomlilo.
Adhering to the protocols of your office as a spiritual person, because firstborns are very spiritual. If you are going to date a firstborn, you must be spiritual because they are spiritual. It's not a choice. How is that? Because I know you're a very spiritual person, Makos.
Sometimes I think I'm too spiritual.
I'm representing umuntu who had such a big role in the history of my nation, the Zulu nation.
Yes, we are spirit having a human experience, but some of us just become extremely
and live up there.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like, can I just be human?
Yeah, bo.
And it's like that's given to you just for you to feel pain.
Yeah, bo.
Just as much as you want to have a human experience, then most of it is, okay, happy, pain. Happy, heartbreak. Happy, how? Can I have this experience? Am I here to be in between spirit and human?
Come on.
Sometimes it feels like we are in between spirit and human. And I think for me, the most important thing that I learned was I thought when Mangtwasa and started healing, because in 2010, I was a full-on healer. 2010, 2012, 13. Then in 2014, I was then told, we are done now. We are done doing it in a smaller scale. We are now going to do it on a larger scale. And specifically the words were siyakhipha manje usuyobelapha ngeyinkulungwane.
Come on.
I didn't know what that meant because Uzalo hadn't come there. Nithi kushadwani umakoti angafiki. Thathe lapho uthi kube nomshado la umakoti engekho. Nithi kushadwani umakoti engekho. Yayi, kabaka. Yabona uma ungafuni kudla lensimbi. Zohlala lo khona. But that was the message. The message was manje usiyobalapha ngeyinkulungwane. So this was 2013, 2014, early before Uzalo started. This was around September. And then in November, I get the Uzalo gig. And even when I get that gig, I didn't understand what it was, what it meant in terms of, me just being exposed to large crowds of people and people responding the way that they do to me. And so when Uzalo became Uzalo and people responded the way that they did to the character of Manqobo. Because it would be crazy when I would go out to maybe events or something. It would be crazy the way people would respond to me, to the character, to me, because bayamthanda uManqobo. But it is something, when you look at it, it's a beautiful thing. I'm very grateful. But you have to look at the spirituality of it.
Yes.
What attracts people in large numbers to one person? It's not me. It is whatever. I always say it is whatever it is that I walk with that I can't see. So it is this healing that was being spoken about.
The mantle upon your shoulders.
In thousands. Yes. So I'm grateful for the platform that I have, because through this platform, I am healing.
Amen.
And I didn't realize it like that when I started the journey. And that's where I then understand the fact that spirituality evolves.
Come on.
It doesn't stay
stagnant.
Yeah. So if I had been endumbeni namanje, for me, I'm talking about my journey. Some people's calling is for that, is to heal endumbeni and have clients come through to you endumbeni. I had that.
Come on.
That had a time frame, and for me, that time frame ended in 2014. And then I started healing through my gift. The acting that I was talking about. When I said at the beginning, it is a responsibility for me to be part of what I'm part of, so that whatever I do heals.
Yes.
Whatever I say heals.
Yes.
So I'm this is not me being talented. No, this is me being spiritual. It is the gift.
So it's not about the talent.
No,
it's about the gift,
talent
the
might be there, but it is more than just the talent. It is more than me just being celebrated. This is me doing what I'm called to do.
Come on. That is a beautiful thing, because many people don't understand the protocols that accompany keeping that gift and keeping it clean and keeping it pure, because that's something that I know you don't defile the gift. So do you take any role, since you're spiritual? Firstborns are spiritual people, and you said sometimes you become too spiritual that sometimes you cannot express or enjoy human encounters because of that spirituality.
Yeah.
That's heavy, Makosi. Now, Makosi, you firstborns are nation builders. I always say that firstborns, you've acted a role, Makosi, which literally I personally believe that it embodies who you are. Umkabai, mother of a nation, a curse breaker. One thing that touches me so much when I saw you acting, they said, for the first time I've seen someone who resurrect ancient voices, who resurrect ancient altars. You are giving the past voice with clarity, precision, acuteness, and excellency to say, this is it. Firstborns are nation builders. And when you act that Mkabai, you give a permission to be as a vessel.
Lolo suku lwesinyembezi ezinomunyu. Kepha lolo futhi usuku lwenguquko.
Speaking to you as a firstborn, and they gave you the role of a firstborn daughter, Umkabai, the one that broke the curse, the law against firstborns.
Yeah.
Because there's a law that was working. Igbos do that. When firstborns are born, they used to take them to the evil forest because they thought that amawele are not a good omen. Zulus would do the same. Your father, Ujama, says, no, keep this one. And kept that one and broke a precedence, a law that was against twins. But for you, Marcos, firstborns are nation builders. And I want this one to really leverage in. If you miss anything we have had in this, you are the perfect picture of a firstborn daughter as a nation builder. Umkabai, you've given women voice. You've given women that died bangakalanga an opportunity babe nomkhosi. Umkhosi abomama bafa bethule. Women that died dark taped. Women that died unseen. Women that died uncelebrated. And patriarchy has not allowed us to see the proper power of a firstborn daughter. I play chess, Marcos. And in chess, I do know this, that there's the king and there's the queen. The king is the most important, but the queen is the most powerful. That's a very heavy thing. The king is important, but power is not in the king's bosom. Power is in the queen.
Yeah.
So a king without a queen is a vulnerable person because she outmoves everybody on the board. And Umkabai was literally, you talk so much. I want two things. There's this part that you are, and there's this part that spiritually she's visited you and spoken to you in this time, because spirits are time sensitive. That one. Two, the realm of what your experience of being Umkabai on that show that many people may not know behind the scenes. That no, you watched Ulishaga Lulembe, but you don't understand the spiritual backlash behind the attacks on your leg. You know, your voice, that voice was not the voice that was wanted, but that was the voice prescribed. That's heavy stuff.
True.
That's heavy stuff.
Sikhonje umune womlando. History has appointed each and every one of us to tell the story.
I think what I said at the beginning, that responsibility, that as an actor, you need to understand that it is beyond just you.
Yes.
You are placed in this time as a vessel of this time to be used by those of the past to locate you spiritually and energetically, to communicate via you to those of the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Through you, information will be frozen yet again, because we couldn't capture anything in those times because there was nothing to capture. Now they realize that, oh, they can capture things, they can freeze time now, because that's how they see it. They can freeze time. And then this thing that freezes time will be seen another thousands of years from now. So now Mkabai has a face.
Come on.
Mkabai has an actual body that she can locate, to say in 2025 I locate this one. Probably she started locating me from way back, because how was it that when I finished studying drama, when I said to you I didn't come to Joburg to act, I got my first job at a place called Shagaland, which is the first set of the other one, Shagazul. The set of Shagazul.
Hendrik Lele.
Yes, the Hendrik Lele version. So where I worked was there, where they had converted the set into almost like a theme park where tourists come and see how the Zulu people lived, you know. And at that time, I was a representation of Nandi.
Come on. At that time.
At that time. So when people arrive, I would be dressed in, you know, big, beautiful regalia, and I would tell them, we would take them around and tell them about, you know, how the Zulu people lived, and, you know, we would then do a Zulu dance show and present the different dances. So I lived there from 99 to 2002.
Yeah.
That's when I was then taken into the actual office, because Shagaland was it was managed by a hospitality group. So then I was taken from the actual place to go and represent the hotel at the sales office, which meant that I would then go, well, I wouldn't sell just that hotel for the purpose of conferences and whatever. I would sell all hotels under the umbrella. But they then promoted me to being in the sales and marketing team. But that, I got that from there. From me.
Your steps were already being ordered.
Yes, but from me
there.
just accepting the fact that I am here and I'm here to learn. And every day I would be wearing stuff like what I wear on, not necessarily like what I wear on Shaga Ilembe now, but
Traditional
best being now, we were in traditional wear every day. So there was a time I gave myself to that life. And I remember when I was on Uzalo, when it started, I said, this was in 2016, and my sister reminded me this, that I said, if I could just get to play the character of Umkabai.
Then?
In 2016.
If I can just, you were being pushed behind the scenes.
Yeah, if I can just play the character of Umkabai, for me, that would be it.
Oh.
In terms of acting. That's what I said.
Okay.
Of course, at that time, we didn't have Netflix. We didn't have any other, I didn't see beyond SAPC and Dance Magic. I didn't know there would be, other streaming channels that would come through to our country and give us more opportunities. Yes, that's where we are now. But at that time, that for me was the ultimate character that I would play. And when it did happen, I think I forgot. And my sister reminded me. My sister said, do you remember what you said?
Come on now. Historic deja vu.
Yeah.
Coming back into time from the past.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's not a thing of now.
Yeah,
it happened a long time ago. Because how was it that I was on the original set, the other set? I'm not saying this one is not original. I'm saying the first set of the first attempt at telling the story of Shaga Ilem.
Your foot was already.
Of Shaga.
You were putting
I was already
spiritual imprint there.
Yes.
And here you are. And now you act Mkabai.
Yes. And so, I don't know. They always say time is like this. There's different, but is it realms or but it's like the past and the present and the future. They're like this. We are. It's here. It's parallel. It's parallel. It's parallel. Is it parallel or parallel?
You teach me.
But what I'm trying to say is, I understand what I'm saying. In that, how do we know what time is, and how do we know when people are in the spiritual realm, do they still adhere to the same time that we adhere to? Is it still the same? Or where they are, it's just, and they're like, you know what? They're saying they want to do this. Can we choose this one and this one and this one and this one? Because I believe everyone that is on that set has been chosen to be who they are representing.
Beautifully so, if I may say so.
And that is why everyone has had their own encounter and they can tell their own stories.
So could I say the vibration of Mkabai chose you? Could I say that?
I believe so, because I didn't choose the voice.
And you are a firstborn. For the fact that I don't think that the guys, the bomb production house were looking for, we need a firstborn to act Mkabai. I don't think that we need a firstborn talent.
I don't even think anyone thought of it like that.
And yet you are.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
And that's also heavy. Just the voice that eventually found when that whole encounter. Because look, I think what I had been prepared spiritually already, because I had an encounter with a spirit already entering and using my body.
Please my go deep if you don't mind, Makosi, because this is the Rated R podcast, Makosi. Yeah. We are not filtering anything.
So what I'm saying is my body had already been prepared.
Come on. The vessel.
Way before. The vessel had already been prepared. And from the fact that my great-grandfather already had been using the vessel before.
So I hear you.
Before I then had to be the vessel of Mkabai. Because that encounter, if I hadn't known the other encounter, I wouldn't have known what was happening to me.
The Mkabai encounter.
When the stick itself, it was almost like, I don't know, it was like things that we see in the movies.
I gave you a present, Mkabai. This is for you. And tell us about that.
I appreciate
That's my gift officially to you, Mkabai.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
So let's make an example of, you've just given me this.
Yes.
And this and my hand on its own, they start doing something like this. And then all of this starts to rattle my body. Yes, in front of the camera, just like in front of this camera.
In front of the camera.
Yes. But obviously, that was then not part
Of course. But
Yes.
yes.
So this experience, then my body then starts to shake. And then as all of this happens, I feel it was almost I won't say it's a burning, but it was here. And it grows, it's almost like a bubble coming up. And when this bubble popped, then my voice changed. That's it's like I'm doing this because I'm feeling the same thing. Then my voice
that
changed.
voice is heavy.
So it was. I then said it was not necessarily. I don't know what was happening to me, but all I'm trying to say is, it was not as the normal way of me embodying a character. It was the spiritual way of embodying a character. And I understand this because I had already had that experience before.
Yeah.
So knowing what it is like to go through that with a spirit entering your body,
Yes.
I knew what was happening to me. I knew that I was no longer me. My body was being used by the owner of
the character.
Yeah.
So the owner of the character was now in town.
Yes.
So I heard this from Uputom Dala somewhere, the one who acts.
Yes.
He says something powerful. He says that acting is spiritual.
Yeah.
And when you act a role, you need to learn how to come out of the role. Sometimes they go into a cleansing because certain roles that you act stay.
Yes.
Now, using that mentality,
with
this sacred role that you've stepped into, that has healed the nation. That have you stepped out of it?
I can't step out of it until I'm done.
Okay.
She arrived in the first season. Obviously, after every shoot of every season, I have to then announce to her that we are done now for this season.
Yes.
And so we part ways.
You know,
we obviously we have a way of, just as much as Siapahla, I have to communicate, because you then realize we are no longer, because as soon as you tap into because it's a periodic piece,
periodic piece.
Yes, as soon as you tap into that period, you are awakening the spirits of those people that you are talking about. So as we are shooting, that set of Shaka Ilembe is frozen in time. They are there. When we shoot, they are there.
Yes.
Spiritually, they are there.
Yes.
Each and every one that represents each and every one is there with their counterpart. It doesn't matter what they think or they feel. They are there. Because the whole thing that we're doing is spiritual.
Yes.
So we've tapped into that space.
Yes.
Whether we want to believe that or not, we've tapped into that period.
Yes.
And we've said to them, awake, you have vessels that are going to carry you and tell your story. And so they are there. And so each individual who has given an opportunity to represent those that are sleeping, be mindful of the fact that you are waking them up, and so they are going to utilize your body as a vessel. And so that's why I'm saying I'm grateful I had gone through what I went through.
In your own family.
In my own family. Rectifying in my own family. And after rectifying my own family, I was then left to then become. Remember, they said, we now let you out to heal in thousands.
Yeah, boy. So now you...
To embody those that will come and heal them in thousands.
Thank you.
Because it's not just her alone that is here to... There's other characters that heal people in their thousands. Because as people watch what I do, they get healed. So it is the acting that is a gift. I never was. I was more umtandazi, and I heal through... I have a conversation with you when I heal. Even Endumben, I have a conversation. I pray and then I have a conversation, and through the conversation, healing comes. So I use water to cleanse.
Yes, so you're a water element.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's me. That's how I heal. And isithunywa sami sihlala la. Nginesithunywa solimi. So as I speak, kunokuphila kufanele kuphume.
Amen.
So those that will find the vessel, they are here for a purpose of you to understand. One, if it was someone that was alive at some point, they are here to rectify maybe what was not known about them. The first Shaka Zulu, I don't remember her role being prominent in terms of
It
her
was actually
story.
villainic.
Yes.
They put it in a villain,
Yes.
somber type
and
of.
so we didn't even understand
No, we didn't like
her
her.
role. Yes.
We didn't like it.
So this time there was more research. The more of the story is written from her perspective. So she's narrating because the story is being told from her perspective.
The show itself starts with your voice.
Yes.
Ndikaba is telling us what
Yes,
happened.
so she narrates the story. So that even
That's
then
deep.
said, she came back to just make people understand what her role was in this whole thing.
So you came back to give Mkabayi her voice.
Yeah.
And a lot of queens' voices are muted. They are not heard. And you were saying this in the car when we were coming here, that you began to, there are many regions, queens that we don't know
That we
of in
don't
Africa.
know about. And this is because it is only the kings that we are aware of.
Yes.
But behind every king is a queen.
Yebo.
So queens ruled. Without kings, there were kings in Africa
Stolen
that ruled.
history.
Yes. And so those queens we know nothing about. So here is one, what will I call her? She was a matriarch,
Kingmaker.
a kingmaker.
Kingdom builder.
You know,
ngakafunda ukuthi umbeki wenkosi akabusi nayo.
without her, could we have had what we have? But why is it that we are not telling that story?
Come on.
Why is it that we are not focusing on the story of the fact that even Senza Ngakona came to be because she went and approached Umtania to come and marry her father? Which daughter does that?
After struggling having
yes.
a seat in the house, she became she orchestrated an environment
Yes.
for the continuity of the bloodline
Yes. So
in Lugacham.
why is it that we are not focusing on her role like that?
Why is it, Makos?
Why is it that it is because I suppose in our society, or maybe
it is the enemy's war against women.
It is.
It always wants your story to be uncelebrated, to be unseen,
Yeah.
to be unknown. The enemy hates women. Because
they know that the woman is much more powerful than they tell the woman.
The woman is a portal. Nothing exists on this earth without a woman. It is illegal for anything to be on this earth without a woman. So, Makos, when the enemy looks at a woman, he sees a threat. And you are now giving Umkabayi a voice. I don't want to disturb that sacred thought line you were on. When you were talking about her coming back, she's here, she's speaking. The show is spoken in her voice. Now, with you, when that remained, what has that done to you? Playing a sacred role. I want you guys to hear that acting is a calling. When I keep telling people, one of the things I always say, I want to have celebrities in my church.
Yeah.
Not because you are celebrities, but you are role models. This celebrity mindset must move aside and realize that you're not a celebrity, you're a role model to model roles.
Also, how about custodians of history?
My God, that's even heavy.
Because, as I said to you, we freeze time.
Custodians of history.
Yes. So you have this one person. How many roles do actors play? Different roles. So you, in your one vessel, you tell different stories from different walks of life.
Come on, madam. Yes. From different walks of life.
Yes.
So the demographics of nationality.
One person, you tell different stories from different walks of life. It's like how our grandmothers would do inganekwane, storytelling. When you tell a story, you carry someone through their mind into a time they are not in.
I hear you.
So actors are essentially that, custodians of history.
That's heavy, beautifully said.
So besides the being celebrated, we appreciate, grateful for the celebration. But actors and artists need to realize that they are much more important than just the celebrated beings that they are.
Come on.
They have a much more deeper responsibility than what meets the eye.
Tell me about the meltdown that happens on you as a Mama Kosi. I've had amazing sessions with you. I've seen your highs, I've seen your lows. I've had the sacred opportunity to see that, because I understand when you come out of the euphoria of this great thing you are doing, many people don't understand the impact on you now. With all these multiple grandeur personalities swimming in the bosom of your soul, they still you. And people don't understand the impact of hosting. You're just telling me now you've been 3 people in one season. How many people are you? I don't know who I'm talking to now. And people don't understand how that sacred role, where you are a channel, you are an embassy of personalities, all swimming, all at the same time, all contending to be heard, all contending to be seen. So the impact on you, what grounds you, what anchors you in all this. You've acted 1,000 characters. Uzalo, you're something else. Lockdown, you're something else. You are always evolving, as you say. But what grounds you?
I think, okay, let me start from the impact. The impact, and then the psychological impact. Because as people, we've got things that we deal with, maybe some of them unresolved. We've got our own personal lives that we have to live.
Absolutely.
And sometimes as an actor, you find that you have no time to resolve your personal stuff, whatever affects you, because you are too busy being other people.
Yeah.
So you then become a person that enjoys being other people more than being you.
Okay.
And so when there is no character to be, that's why you find that actors, or maybe I'll say artists, when there's no work, when you can't become, when you need to be you,
you have a problem.
You have a huge problem.
Because you're used to being at someone.
Yes, now you are faced with you.
My goodness.
And then that's when the depression sets in.
Yes.
And that's when you crash. Because you don't know who to be. You are you. You're not used to being you.
Hey.
So as you need to then start to unpack anything and everything that is unresolved, that is within you.
Yes, ma'am.
And where do you begin?
You need to be healed.
You need to be healed from whatever that has been eating you from maybe your younger years. All I remember is me from my early years enjoying becoming someone else in front of the mirror and not being me. I don't remember the time where I just enjoyed being me. All I enjoyed was performing in front of people and just being somebody else.
And that's it. And as a firstborn, the problem with that is a firstborn daughter, you already are forced into a role that is beyond you. You are a deputy parent. As a grand firstborn daughter, you are already many things: parentification, deputy father. You have mother wounds because you don't know how to be a daughter. You always know how to be a friend to your mom, listening to your mom's issues. The vocabulary of your experience is always exasperated, put together with the acting that you have, always being someone. And so there are many firstborn daughters tonight that are listening to us who are going through this confusing, complex office. It's a sacred office. You are looking at an institution. I believe you are that, Makosi. My cup overwhelms me when I look at it, and I look at how you keep on showing up. If God gives me grace, she is a firstborn daughter, which I would have wished she was here.
Yeah.
Because the experience of having a firstborn mother who's a grand firstborn daughter, the implications on them, I mean, you are now giving them the grace to have what you've never done. Most firstborn women have mother wounds. I don't see that with your daughter because you are able to identify your own inner wounds and not, you see, I always say that if we don't heal the family nervous system, we will pass it down as a family tradition. We will not just pass down ingredients. We pass pain. We pass patterns. We pass divorce. I'm seeing something unique. The intricate relationship you have with your firstborn daughter and daughters is unique because you were able to say, no, I'm not going to pass an injured nervous system as a tradition. I'm going to pass down healing. How would you say, Makosi, you've mastered that?
I think, first of all, it was to accept the fact that what I was just saying to you about not knowing how to be me, knowing how to be everything else and everyone else. And every time I would crash, and that is why I speak so openly about mental wellness.
Please.
I didn't know what it was, but all I know is I would wake up and not be able to get out of bed. And I didn't know what that was. And I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to speak when that happens.
Yeah.
Even when I'm hospitalized. And in hospital, I think I wouldn't even want to go and participate in the group because there's group therapy.
Yeah.
And then there's individual therapy. I think I would just go to individual therapy and I would just lie there and not be able to speak even. And I don't know what was happening to me at that time. I think I didn't know who I was. I was everything else to everyone else, but who was I to me? And I think opening up and being aware of what was happening, and when I'm from counseling, understanding exactly what's happening to me, because I was diagnosed very early, I think in 2004 with major depression.
Yeah.
And I was on medication. These are things I lived with. And I can't say to you, this is why. I can't say this is because of my childhood. This is what I have. And now I think people understand it is a condition.
Yeah.
And now what I've done raising children, I've made sure that when I have someone who doesn't feel okay, I recommend therapy, number one. Number two, we are very open. We speak very openly. My children are my friends.
Yeah.
I am no longer married now, so it means I have to make the time, because I'm the only parent that is there present with them. I have to make the time to communicate, and still be a mother and still be a parent, and not allow them to just treat me like I'm a friend. We are friends, but I'm still your mother.
You know how to cross these boundaries.
Yes, but what I'm trying to do is open lines of communication. So I think communication in my household is very important. It has helped me to have them as my friends, because I see myself in all of them, in all five of them. I see myself. So for me, that is healing. I spend a lot of time on my own now, and I allow that in silence, because there's nothing wrong with just being on your own in silence. It is healing. And sometimes even when I can't explain what's happening inside of me, I feel it's okay. I like to speak to myself. I've been like that from very early.
That's very important.
My third born is like me. She would have full-on conversations
by herself.
With herself.
And fully satisfactory.
So I'm becoming like that again. I speak to myself. I have nice conversations with myself. It's not like how it was when I was younger, but I'm back there where I speak.
Amen.
And I'm very aware of the fact that my higher self wants to connect with me. And so I pay attention to the fact that I need to vibrate a bit higher every day.
Yes.
And a lot of things that drag us down are the things that are low vibrational. And so all of these things that I can speak about like this now, and the understanding of why I have this gift, is because of my higher self encouraging me to vibrate a little higher every day.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And me being curious to meet my higher self.
I love that, being curious. That's the inner child. Because you say something amazing about the mystery of your heads. You need beautiful heads. I wish I could just show, and I got some. It's part of your healing. And I saw that in your inner child, where you weave, and you found solace in decoding your pain, in weaving. And people don't understand that you do that to every order that most people get. You weave it. So if someone says, Dawn, make me a hat, you weave it. I remember one day when someone was actually, you had a task schedule and you're not weaving, and they said, you're stealing our money and everything. And you said that when that provoked you, you weaved that in.
By 12, I had done 2 hats.
Are you hearing that? So each time you buy a hat, and I pray that 1 million heads have that hat, because that is you processing yourself in your inner space, in silence, to cover an uncovered head. So when you are weaving and giving people hats, you are saying the target of injury from the enemy, that was your mind, the PlayStation of all spiritual activity. Now you cover naked heads with heads. I mean, that's it. How did you discover the crushing? Before I close with my last point of firstborn daughters, I've realized are very, people don't understand this. Firstborn daughters are very sexual.
Okay.
They have and this is something I'm not saying anything about you because I'm just saying
no, but me.
not but I've seen that most firstborn daughters are their sexual libido is high, and they don't understand that spirituality elevates sensuality.
Yeah.
And that in being spiritual, you become sensual, and your sexual energy is actually a creative energy. So when many firstborn women are sexual, they don't realize that their sexuality is in the frequency of a man. In being sexual, they are creating something. They're very creative. I mean, your hats and this one, Makosi, and
Yeah. Okay, so with the hats, I started crocheting because when we were at school, I learned crocheting at school.
yes,
So I also discovered it. When was it? I think I was going through a depressive stage.
yeah,
I think it was 2022 when I wasn't working. Then I started crocheting, and it wasn't crocheting necessarily to sell. It was crocheting because I needed to use this energy that wasn't being used.
yeah, that creative energy.
Yeah, that creative energy. And so I started crocheting. And so I crochet, and then now I sell hats. Now I have Izandla by Dawn Thandeka King. And then I tried to have a group of ladies that were helping me with it. But then I realized that whoever is in charge of this gift that resides inside of me, it comes from here.
Izandla. I hear you.
So that is why when you order a hat and then I give it to someone else to make your hat, something inside of me breaks because whatever that is supposed to come from me to your hat to you. And so now I make the hats. And
Exclusively.
Yes,
So everybody that gets that hat, you made it
I
with your
make
hands.
it. So, and I always tell people that sometimes it depends on your energy. Sometimes I make your hat very quickly, depending on whatever connection that our energies have. Sometimes I can't make your hat at all. And sometimes I wait 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then I'm able to make your hat. Nakona kuyateka to make your hat. I always say it's the energy connection that you and I had.
Yeah.
Someone would say to me now would say, I want a hat tomorrow. I'll bring that hat for you, branded and all. I would have made that hat.
Okay.
So it is a thing. It's not a business. It's me. You actually an energy from me. You are wearing a part of me on your head.
Yes.
And there's something
Yes.
very important about covering. Yes, and
the head.
protecting from entities that are out there. They affect ukakai lwethu.
Nguzwa kahle.
So the energy on the head covers and protects through Izandla. So it's become more than just hats.
Which means firstborn daughters heal heads.
Yes.
Custodians of the gates.
Yes.
My goodness.
So it's become a special thing. I even said, I want to have a session where I sit and I sit with you, and if we had started this at the beginning and I was crocheting, I would have been halfway through finishing your hat, and all this energy
In a session.
and all this energy, that this communication, this energy would have been part of the hat.
Because that's therapy.
Yeah.
That's healing.
So I think that's going
heavy.
forward, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll have sessions where I'll sit and your messages will come, but then from your messages and your healing, you'll come out with a hat. So instead of usawoti noma iswasho, uphuma
You come up
nesigqoko.
covered.
Yeah.
I love that.
So sexuality,
Yeah,
me,
please.
I'm the one that said I'm in between spirit and
I think in
between akwenzeki. Like, you did say firstborn daughters have issues with relationships.
Yes. And why is it hard for firstborns to be vulnerable? It's another question. Firstborn daughters can't be vulnerable. You can't. It's very difficult.
Is there a class you can open maybe? Because I can't. I had someone say to me, they want to take care of me,
Where?
They want me to be their baby. I'm
My
like,
God, baby, be my...
I'm not going to expose anything, but I'm just saying it was. I think it was a nice gesture.
Yes.
It wasn't anything.
Bayakushayela makhosi bazama ukwenza ube ubheki. But when you got, because one guy says, and I always tell people this, the pain of men who have mother wounds, when they date firstborn woman, they don't find a mother, they find a father. That is why many guys are intimidated. When you have a firstborn daughter and you date her, ungen, and you look for your mom, you'll find your dad. And if you didn't have a strong relationship with your father, she'll become an enemy because she's a triggering a wound you need to deal with. So
that should be a very scary thing. It's a scary thing. What you're saying is actually true. It's worse when it's a firstborn daughter with a calling angenwe indoda.
Nkosi yami.
Worse.
Oh,
Dila nobaba wakho nomkhulu wakho ke lapho. Because all these men that are inside of me, then ngeke phela angithi uzohamba kuhambe wena ubabone.
Yes. So because you said you can't be vulnerable. So is it possible to say the day you meet a man who allows the inner boy in you to be vulnerable, uktolile, you've not found that? Because I believe that the cure for every firstborn woman is to find a man that allows the inner child in them, which is a boy, to find a father. Because only umkhulu can literally make a firstborn daughter vulnerable. And a lot of our men vibrate mom. A lot of our men have too much of mom, too little of dad. And that's not working and will not work for firstborn daughters.
Let's say we are stepping outside of the African continent to find this. We are finding this because we are looking all over the world.
Why is it hard for firstborn daughters to literally find, not women in general, but specific firstborn daughters?
To find?
Yes, love.
I don't know. I think we were too responsible too early and
identified.
We needed to take care of others and we forgot to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
And so, like I said, we don't know who we are. And
we
don't know what we're looking for.
You don't know what you're looking for
because we don't know what it is. We've given everyone everything, but we don't know what it is that we should be receiving.
Yeah. So you cycle for projects.
Yeah.
And when you fix the projects, they leave you. Please, Makosi, as a firstborn, I said that the firstborn daughter is an office. If you don't understand that, you're not just born first. Only a woman determines a firstborn. It's the first to break the womb. A man does not determine a firstborn. A woman does. We have an institution of a firstborn. Makosi, as a healer, as the face of Umkabai, you said that one, your responsibility now is to give Umkabai a voice.
Yeah.
Now, you are getting a lot of speaking assignments.
Yes.
Because of that unction from acting Ushaka Olembe.
Yes.
And you got that. So now your next role going around while you're acting, you are activating your speaking engagements, being invited to projects, being invited to places. You've seen that activated as a firstborn daughter, as a voice.
I have. I was invited to the Revelation Church. Is it the Revelation Church? Yes, Babkhatebe. And that was an honor. I was a keynote speaker there. And I think it unlocked it a lot, because I was speaking about trusting women in transferring generational wealth. It was a very powerful topic to speak on. And it made me realize where I was raised and by whom I was raised.
Yes.
The power of the women that have raised me.
Yes.
I think I realized that when I was preparing for that that speech. And the next one I was supposed to have been doing, I've had to postpone it cancel it. I was supposed to go to DUT to speak to the class of 2025. Also, I was going to speak on exactly what I was speaking about, the responsibility behind acting. It's not you graduating to be famous. It's you graduating to take part of that responsibility in society, because it's your responsibility in society to preserve history, preserve culture, and the culture that we have now, it needs to be preserved. If we don't, it's finished.
Yes, that's beautiful.
And so I was going to speak on that, but we've had to cancel that because of other commitments. And I think 2026 is going to be a year where I'm really going to focus on speaking, because again, speaking then becomes part of that healing them in thousands.
Yes.
Because as I speak, then people heal. So I need to speak on topics that are current. We've got a problem. The GBV.
Men who are angry.
and men who are angry because we are raising awareness.
Yeah.
Men are angry because we are raising awareness of the fact that domestic violence is rife.
Very rife.
We have a femicide and they are angry. Instead of supporting the fact that the
They feel
awareness
exposed.
and we need to speak on that, and we need to speak on that and not be afraid.
Yeah.
I think often we are afraid because we are in partnerships. And once you are free as a woman, you can speak. And it's very sad that it's only once you are free as a woman that you can stand on your own and you can speak on issues that have not only affected you, but society. But you couldn't speak openly on societal issues because you didn't want to offend anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I will be speaking on such issues and, and just continue what I do. And I'm grateful that I still have the work that I have, but I need to also make sure that my speaking career becomes my voice, because that is the voice that was that voice that it is that voice that is there to heal. So
So healing the motherline is important for every firstborn daughter. A lot of our generations, a lot of our history has not allowed the women that come before us. When you stand as a firstborn, you're an ambassador also of the motherline. Your mother's pain is your burden. Your grandmother's pain is your burden. So the burden on all of firstborns is that you have to heal the motherline. If ever there's anything, Marcos, I would like you to close the show with is to literally speak to the nations as a healer, the importance of that office as a firstborn daughter. You've touched a lot. I want you to talk about the motherline, wounded women, mother wounds that bleed even on sons. This nation is wrecked with the acute wounds of mother wounds, a mother wound. A mother wound is 10 times more diabolical than a father wound because a mother is a picture of God. Now, I just wanted to address now, Marcos, and give you to say, speak to somebody in this nation. Speak to firstborn daughters who feel like relationships are not for me. They feel like being a firstborn daughter is a curse. They feel like nothing works. They're tired of being judged. They're tired of being saying that. All these labels that we give on an office that has been unflawed. Heal us, Mama Kos.
I think what I can say is let us all remember, because most firstborn daughters are raised by their grandmothers.
Yes.
Because the firstborn daughters who are their mothers had to then either go back to school or go to work to try and, raise. But it is the grandmothers that healed. So take it from your grandmother's pain and frustration. We need to heal that pain, because all our grandmothers wanted was for us to become something, for their daughters to become something, and for us to become something. So I remember my grandmother wanted all her daughters to be educated. And so as grandchildren, we were left with our grandparents because our grandparents wanted our mothers to be equipped with education. And so they wanted the best for us in having mothers that are educated. And so when our mothers were being educated, they also sent us to school, making sure that we focused on education. And so I always say, in as much as my grandmother did not have the quality of education that we had, she was educated enough to know that education is important. It's the one thing that can unlock. It is the one thing that can actually make you free as a woman. I think let's celebrate those. In turn, in celebrating our grandmothers, we then celebrate our mothers. And let's not focus so much on the pain, because I think what we tend to do is we focus on the pain. And remember, when you focus on the pain, you manifest. You are saying to the universe, this is where you want to stay. You want to stay feeling like this. You want to stay feeling like you were not loved properly. You want to stay feeling like your mother was not present. And yet your mother was also just a girl who just so happened to have a child, who still had dreams of her own. So as you hate your mother, you hate yourself, because it's when you become a mother that you know that I must ease off. I must not be so hard on my mother. She was just a girl. She is just a girl who is here for the first time. Everyone is here for the first time. So in as much as we have had generational burdens from our great-grandmothers to our grandmothers to our mothers, let us make them proud by stopping this feeling of inadequacy,
Yeah.
this feeling of thinking that someone owes us something.
Yeah.
They have given us the best that they could.
Yeah.
And so let us try to go back, even if ugogo akasekho, go back and love ugogo, because ugogo loved you enough to make you who you are today.
Yeah.
And in turn, love your mother, because some of us still have mothers, but we don't have good relationships with our mothers until they're not here.
Yeah.
Until you see how you wasted time just hating.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to say to all the firstborn daughters, I know it feels tough, but sometimes take it easy on yourself first. And then remember that you are here for the first time. Your mother is here for the first time. And so was your grandmother. Nobody knew how to do this. Nobody had done it and come back to do it again. So whatever you can change, change. When you have the gift and the power to change that. Make that change for your future generations so that they can say, our grandmother, our great-grandmother, she's the one that actually made us better. She's the one that made us realize that love is the one thing that heals all families.
Love is the one thing that heals all families. This is the Rated R Bishop's Show. I'm so elated that this is our debut. We had the grace of having an institution in our midst. But Makosi, thank you so. So I must still give you the Zulu one, Mama.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God! So I've got. I walk away with. I walk away with Amari from this place.
You found the British one, because this one is the King one, and that one is the Thandi one. This,
Thank you so
both
much.
dimensions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I pray that you subscribe to this channel. We are taking the nation by storm. We are giving firstborn daughters a voice, an opportunity to heal. Join us again next time. I'm your Red Bishop. Much grace.